man, and I use the term ever so loosely. Hey, this video is going to be a little different. I want to talk about a couple things, make a couple of announcements, and well, let's get started. The first thing I want to do, which is something I should have done a long time ago, and something I should have been doing as I've been going along, is I want to thank a few customers and subscribers to the channel who've been watching for quite a while and who have been very generous and contributed things to the channel and to the shop in order to keep things running. The first guy I want to mention is a guy named Gary Budd. He's up in Canada, and he's been watching and has been very enthusiastic about the channel. Anyway, last Christmas, and I did a video on this one, last Christmas he sent me a bunch of shop supplies. Some sanding discs, razor blades, electrical tape, a tape measure, just a handful of odds and ends, stuff like that. Nothing particularly expensive in and of itself, but stuff that is extremely handy to have around. So I want to thank Gary. Siberian Cycles is what I call him up there, and you might see him in the comments. He tends to contribute quite a bit there in the comments. But anyway, I want to thank him for his donations. The next guy I want to mention is a guy named Bob Gessner, who has bought a bunch of coffee cups from me, made a pretty significant cash contribution to the channel. You know, I wouldn't be buying video cameras and microphones and shit like that if I wasn't making videos. So, you know, that stuff gets to be kind of expensive. So I'd like to thank Bob for his very generous contribution. Thank you. The next guy I want to mention is a guy named Mark Keller. He donated to me a while back, getting to be quite a while back, so like I say, I'm really late on doing these things. But he donated a set of very rare 900cc cams, sifting cams, original sifting cams, not this rebranded V-twin crapola, but original sifting cams to the channel. I've got them sitting in a box. I want to find them a good home. I don't know what I want to do with them exactly, but they're here, they're safe. But anyway, a set of sifting cams and a 900cc Sportster cam cover in excellent condition. Thanks, Mark. Really, really appreciate it. I'm going to try to make sure your stuff finds a good home. The next guy I want to thank is a guy named Blair Meerfeld. Blair's been calling me off and on with various problems on his bike. We've been trying to fix it over the phone, which could be a little difficult sometimes. But anyway, I've been talking to Blair now for getting to be quite a while. And he donated a set of clutch plates just out of the blue one day. And I want to find a good home for those too. So once again, thank you, Blair. Really appreciate it. And for right now, the last guy I want to mention is a guy named Terry Shields. He owns this engine right here. He also owned the K model, the KHK that I did, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 months ago, maybe longer than that. But anyway, been a very good customer for a long time. And Terry has a thing for magnetos and kickstart Sportsters. And he likes his engines and his bikes original. So I tend to end up putting Linkerts and Tillotsons on them. And please, guys, do yourself a favor. Buy a modern carburetor, okay? Yeah, they look cool. Yeah, they're original. But, you know, those carbs are not particularly good when they're new. And 50 years later, they ain't worth a damn. But anyway, I was bitching about how hard his bikes are to start sometimes until I get everything dialed in on him. So Terry's getting to be kind of an older gentleman, much like myself. And, you know, tuning a magneto bike with a screwed up old carburetor can be pretty challenging. So Terry bought me one of them roller deals where you spin the rollers, you put the bike on it, you spin the rollers, you drop the clutch, pop it into gear, and it'll spin the tire and, you know, hopefully get the bike started for you. So thanks, Terry, appreciate it. And the other thing Terry bought me that I greatly appreciate is a hydraulic lift table, so I could put an engine on it and it'll lift it up almost to the height of the workbench. You know, the days of me deadlifting an iron head from the floor to a workbench ain't happening anymore. I'm going to be an old man. Those things are heavy. So anyway, thank you, Terry. So from now on, I'll be running a list of supporters at the end of each video. And to you guys who have supported me, thank you very much. If there's anybody I missed, shoot me an email, give me a call, whatever you want to do. You know, come bang me in the head, and you know, I'll make sure you get your proper mention here. I don't want to skip anybody and piss anybody off. But anyway, I'll be running a list of supporters at the end of every video. So that kind of segues me into the next part of this thing. And I've started a Patreon channel. Links, of course, will be in the description down below. If anybody else would like to help a little bit, join me on Patreon. Kick a few bucks into the pot. It'll go to things I use around the shop, things that'll help me make videos, just, you know, keeping this operation rolling here. Just FYI, I'm getting close to the point in time, getting close to the numbers where theoretically YouTube can monetize me. Frankly, I don't see that happening. I'm just a little bit too far off their beaten path. I tend to let loose with a good string of profanity every so often, and YouTube I don't think is too fond of that. But you know, you guys have worked on these machines for quite a while, I'm sure, most of you. And sometimes the only thing that will fix a stubborn mechanical problem is a properly worded, profanity-laced tirade. So, you know, this channel is prone to producing a few of those. So I probably will never be monetized by YouTube. Which leads me to one of the things that pisses me off about YouTube, is they will run advertisements on my channel right now. So apparently I'm good enough for some people to advertise on my channel, but I'm just not good enough for YouTube to share that little bit of wealth with me. And I'm sure it's, you know, pennies per 100 views or something. But anyway, it kind of irritates me. You know, they'll run the advertisement, but I don't get a cut, so it's irritating. What else have I got here? I made a few notes. Okay, anyway, Patreon will be active by the time this YouTube video is posted. Like I say, kick in a few bucks. Your name will go at the end of the video with everybody else who supports. So I'd really, really appreciate it. To give you an idea of what's coming up in the shop, let's take a look around in here and I'll show you what I'm working on and give you an idea of where some videos will be going. Okay, like I said, I just finished up that motor right there. That's a Terry Shields motor, waiting for him to come pick it up. Over there is another motor I just finished up. That owner's from New Mexico. He'll be coming to get in a couple of weeks. That bike over there had some transmission problems. You could probably tell because there's a big hole where the transmission used to go. I'm working on that right now, and there is a video in progress that'll be posted in a couple of 3 weeks probably. Right there is another engine that just got delivered 2 or 3 days ago. When I get it apart, get it opened up, if there's anything that looks interesting in there, we'll be posting some videos on that too. And right there is one of my bikes. That's a panhead I put together a couple, 3 years ago for myself. When I bought it, when I bought it's kind of interesting. Of course, it's open belt primary, so you could see the end of the crankshaft. And this thing was wobbling, you know, 1/8 of an inch, 3/16 of an inch. I mean, it was shot. So every bearing in the engine was, of course, totally destroyed. The bike happens to have an integral oil filter built into the oil tank. This was packed full of metal. But anyway, the problem with it right now is this, is the trans, when I got it, was leaking like a sieve. There were many, many cracks on the bottom of the trans. I welded as many of them as I could find. The thing is still leaking. I've given up trying to keep up with the cracks on the bottom, and I hate to say this, but I bought a V-twin replica transmission case. So we're going to do some videos on that. I'm going to pull that trans out of there, swap all the guts over to the new case, put it back together again. I'm also going to switch cams on this bike. We're going to switch some lifters around, and I put the powder coat on the tank too thick in a couple of spots, and it sagged, so I'm going to get the tank and re-powder coat it. And I think I want to cut an inspection door inside the tank so that if a guy wanted to, you could pull the inspection door and look inside the tank and see what kind of rust and crud is in there, just out of curiosity. And then there's this. I've got this rolling chassis that I'm going to build into a street tracker, cafe racer kind of a bike. Not quite sure exactly how it's going to go. I do know that this XR750 style tailpiece is going to go. I'm not going to use it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give this away. I'm going to give this bolt-on hardtail away because the bolt-on hardtail is coming off of this thing and I want to get rid of it. I'm going to give it to whoever wants it. The only catch is you have to be a Patreon member. I get a lot of takeoffs of stuff, and I just plan on giving it away. As long as you're a Patreon member, you're eligible for any of the giveaways. So sign up for Patreon. You might get this if you're interested. You might get the hardtail if you're interested. I do believe I'm going to give away the rear wheel, probably the front wheel. Maybe not the brakes. The bike is going to need brakes. But anyway, that's about it for today. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and join Patreon, and you might get takeoffs of this bike and other bikes and other parts I got laying around. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you later. Bye.